I'll take it back. I do admit when I'm wrong, but here's why I'm able to, because most of the time I am right. And I'm not saying that because I'm like a genius that just like knows everything, but it's because I refuse to talk about shit that I don't know about. Like if I don't know about something, I'll be like, well, I don't know enough about that. I mean, I might have an opinion, but it's not going to be an informed one. So why would I even say it? You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. It doesn't count. So if I am talking about something, I'm like, I know for a fucking fact that I am right. And if anybody tries to like test me on it, I'm like, okay, yeah, go ahead and look. Like, yeah, look. I mean, I could be wrong. Go ahead and look it up, just so that I can see their faces to be like, oh, you were right, and I can be like, oh, really? That's crazy.
That's what I mean. You get along so well.
Not very often do I have to be like, oh, damn, I was wrong. Okay, fair. But that's just because that's more of like, I just refuse to be wrong. So I don't even give anybody the chance to correct me, you know?
This is why you and I get along so well, because we
get along well?
Yeah, we get along pretty well.
All right. Okay,
we get along well.
We were arguing 10 minutes ago.
I'll restate the sentence. This is why I enjoy talking to you so much. Because you have that perspective and you were like, no, I'm dead set like this. And I have absolutely, contrary to other people's opinion of me, I have no problem being wrong. But I really enjoy pressing people and see how much they know about what they know.
That's fair. I also feel like you just don't, even if you're wrong, you don't back down from your opinions or like from your
I know that that's not the opinion that I actually have, but just to play devil's advocate.
It's trickier though, because opinions are like,
okay, well,
whatever.
like let's just say it's like a controversial thing or like some hot topic or whatever, and you said something that I find like, just illogical or like just weird, I'll press you on it, and I'll be on the opposite side, and
I will explain
just so that like I could see if you could like work your way around it, or if you're just saying that to talk your ass off.
And this is why we literally sit there and argue for hours.
It's so fun.
The other day we sat at dinner and we argued the entire and I'm not saying like argue like we were fighting. No. Like debating. Like we were like I would say something and then you would ask a question and then you would say something and then I would ask a question, and we literally did that for like an hour and a fucking half.
But but it's so fun with you because like you said, you've got it, like you've got them locked and loaded.
Bitch,
and you've got it going. And it's so fun because and sometimes, most of the time I agree with you. So I was just like going at it, and it's just like me like sharpening the debate sword. But she's been in situations with me where like people are saying dumb shit and I will just logically wrap them around themselves, and then they're like, by the end of it, they don't even know that what they're saying is fucking ridiculous, and I'm just sitting there like sarcastically laughing my ass off.
You're also great at like changing the argument though, which I feel like it's probably how you get away with like winning a lot of arguments with other people.
That time we'll
be arguing about something specifically, and then you'll kind of like argue about something that is very related, but it's not quite exactly what we're arguing about. And then you'll be like, but what about that? And I'm like, cool, that's not what we're fucking arguing about. That's a fucking different thing. We can have that conversation later, but that is not the same thing. Yeah. And then we get into that. Yeah. So I feel like that's probably how you win a lot. You are the bane of my existence.
And I'm 30.
You're the bane of my existence.
I love you.
What drives me crazy about arguing with you is the fact that you play devil's advocate so strongly, strongly to the point that I'm like,
is he paying your fucking bills?
You're claiming to be a feminist, but you are going so hard on the opposite side of this argument that I'm like,
I just like seeing how fleshed out people have their like thoughts and like about the world.
That's not a debate. That's why I get like annoyed with you, and that's when I get really angry. Where I'm like, we're not debating anymore. You're just trying to piss me off.
Yeah.
And that is so easy to do.
Whenever it works, though, it's so great to see. I think she's seen me a couple times where like there's like conservatives around me and they don't know what the fuck they're saying, and I would just like lead them. And they'll do it to themselves. Like, I'll just ask questions. I'm like, well, what about this? Or what about that?
This man is a terrorist.
This and that. And then they're like, by the end of it, they're like saying opposite things that they started with. And it's just really fun because then afterwards we get to reminisce and be like, the guy's a fucking idiot. Or like, that was, you know what I mean? Like, they were just saying some dumb shit and they don't even know it. So it's fun to laugh at them.
You're a criminal.
Anyway, that's why I really have always been looking forward to being 30 years old.
Oh my God, the big 30.
I know.
What do you want to accomplish in 30?
At 30?
Like in this year. Your first year in your 30s.
In my, yeah. I don't know.
Or maybe the first half of your 30s.
First half.
Sure. I don't know. I'm just trying to make the question easier.
I don't know. It's so hard for me. It's so hard for me to answer those questions because I don't necessarily operate in the sense of like.
I know you
like
don't.
what do you want to do? I could tomorrow. I could have an idea, and then that's what I'm gonna do.
That's on being an Aries.
What?
I love bringing. Like
I hate you when you do that shit.
I know every time you just because it's you want to know why, because it's the only fucking time that you don't have anything to say back.
Well, because I don't know anything about the damn
only time that you just take it and shut the fuck up.
Yeah, well,
do you know what's funny though? Like I also
and we've also already had this argument, so to go over and over and over again.
Stick with the astrology and stuff like that, but I find it so funny when things do stick from it. And I was reading something about Aries, and it's like. Aries will get mad and just get super motivated. So they'll be like, you cheated on me? I'm going to go get my PhD. And I was like,
they're vengeful.
Juan, if
they
that is not
petty
him,
as
to be fair,
Aries are known for
women
being
have
like,
cheated on me, and I don't have 0 PhDs.
Okay, no, but what did you do? What did you do when you were struggling with the whole house and everything? You got drunk, and then the next day you got motivated.
Oh, yes,
that's
true.
what I'm fucking
that's
like.
True. That
and
is
like
true.
you have like the perfect. You are like the pinnacle of an Aries. You have the perfect level of like chaotic energy and like impulsivity, but also you're really fucking like smart. Things just work out for you.
I am very impulsive.
You are
the way I got this house was impulsive.
Oh my God, you're very impulsive.
The way this podcast started was impulsive.
But shit just works out for you, dude. Like I don't understand. I mean,
people just like the appearance of what it looks, but in the moment, I'm like, oh crap, this could like fall apart at any minute. But fuck it, we're going for it.
That's the chaotic energy.
It's
crazy.
But so to answer your question, I don't know if I have any plans specifically. I just know.
What do you hope your 30s look like? Like I'm trying to reformulate this question.
So I do have an answer for this one. I hope they're more fun than my 20s.
Your 20s were pretty fun.
My 20s, were pretty fun. They were pretty fun. But there were also a lot of things in my 20s that I had to like, there were circumstances and hurdles that I had to get through that were beyond my control. Yeah. So it was like, I have to push through that in order to get to a place where I feel like I'm at 0 or where I feel like I can like do things more comfortably. So I hope that from 30 to 40 or 30 to 35 or however you want to frame it, I hope that it feels more fun in the sense that like I'm not necessarily as held back by certain things that were beyond my control. Yeah. Or just a little bit more control in what I'm doing and what I have to do. I still think I'm probably going to be impulsive. I still think I'm probably going to get ideas that are kind of ludicrous in the moment, and I'm just going to go for it. And to be fair, sometimes those ideas get in the way of other ideas that I've been working on for years, for decades. And, there's a couple things that I've been working on for like a decade now, and I'm in the process of putting them to making them come into fruition. But like, I think that for me is like the tug of war between like the artist in me and like the like, what can I do right now? Yeah. That's fair. Immediate. You know what I mean? And I hopefully that's what I want. I want a little bit more balance between those two things. That's fair. Probably a better way to say it. That's a good one. Yeah, like I want more balance between like being in the moment and being like, I'm going to Hawaii. And then like being like, but you also have to like get through all of those things. Yeah. Especially now that like I have to do a lot of like this stuff. Yeah. And like